the FSF PopCast live show. Well, hello, kids and cadets. Welcome to the FSF PopCast live show. This, of course, is our happy hour. John's waving at flies, I think, or just really excited. I haven't decided which one.
I'm in a good mood, okay? It's a Monday, and I'm in a good mood. Let's think about this.
That alone is reason for a celebration.
Yep.
So, very excited to have you guys here with us tonight. There's a lot to discuss in regards to Star Wars Celebration. We have a couple highlights we want to discuss. There's some news in the Marvel world out in the MCU. A lot of confusion about the Fantastic Four trailer and the appearance of a female Silver Surfer. So we're going to talk about that. And then, of course, we just need to discuss Space Daddy himself, Pedro Pascal. So we never get to see the live show opening music stuff. Translation, John, that's your wife. So translation.
You know, there are days when I don't even understand.
Gonk. So, yeah. I'm wondering if she's talking like behind, because a lot of times as the music's going, we may or may not dance. Possibly. Yeah, because, that's where Will Smith said to dance, is right here. Our home. We own it. So anyway, and then we smack somebody and tell them to keep. Yeah.
Once the whiskey kicks in, or the tequila, or the rum, or whatever you're doing, yeah,
right.
Dancing's a whole different thing.
And at that point, we smack somebody and tell them to keep our wife's name out of their mouth.
Yeah,
my version of
fun. Anyway,
my versions of shenanigans today are brought to you by Jefferson's Very Small Batch Bourbon. So, yeah. It's delightful. So I'll be drinking that tonight.
I'm drinking water.
And I have a Baja Blast over here.
Well, I'm gonna hydrate so I don't dehydrate.
Yeah, there's that too. Let's see. Mr. Fantastic needs a helmet.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to him being the new Sean Bean later.
Our dancing doesn't show up on YouTube. Well, of course not. That never shows up on YouTube.
But also because there's a little bit of a lag when she's watching, so the notification that we're live doesn't go on until after we're already talking.
Okay.
I know that because I'm usually where she is, and she's usually where I am. Well, over there.
Oh, see, I learned it. I got learned-ified.
Yep. Look at you go.
Look at me go. Woo-hoo! All kinds of scary things for Monday. Would you look at that? So tonight, we, of course, happy to have you guys here. And joining us in the Level Up Sabers studios. As you notice, we have our show now is this is brought to you by Level Up Sabers. We were already brought to you by Level Up Sabers, but we just wanted to call more attention to one of the more amazing companies that we do work with, and Level Up Sabers is one of them. Kathleen says, "No, you dum-dum. The intro, welcome to the FSF live show, doesn't happen even if I have the show up and waiting on YouTube."
Right.
The music, you're talking about the musical montage never shows up?
No.
Oh, well, that is because of the delay.
Yeah, that's because we're watching it on like a Roku TV, and they're a little wonky sometimes. So, I mean, if you really want, you can rewind and watch it and then catch up, but you might miss something important in the meantime.
You never know. You could. Like me firing off a plastic gun on receipts. Totally not having fun with my new toy.
You're totally having fun with your new toy.
Totally. Coming soon. Yeah, we may have filmed something over the weekend. How's your welt going, by the way?
That's fine. Totally healed. Yeah.
Totally healed?
Yeah.
I should have swung harder. Anyway. All right, but tonight, before we get into much else of anything, we want to make sure that we say thank you to our show partners like Bones Coffee Company. You go to bonescoffeecompany.com, use the code FSF PopCast. You can get 10% off of your total order. And of course, if you go to Idea Farm and you type in FSF 15, you can get 15% off of your nerd merch there. And of course, Level Up Sabers because, you want a lightsaber that's guaranteed to be better than a stick and not brought to you by some douchebag from Canada who pretends that he's a Star Wars fan. Anyway, not letting that one go. I'm still seething with that, man. A whole lot of stuff recently. But anyway.
Is he really worth paying attention to?
No, but I hate the fact that for someone who has as big of a platform as they do, like not everything has to be done my way. Clearly not my way. My way is not always the right way. I appreciate that. I understand that. But I also don't think that the way that he's going about things and trying to purposely divide the Star Wars community just so that he can get into people's pocketbooks, that's not right either. So I have a distinct problem with that. However, if you would like to follow us and all of our shenanigans, please make sure that you find us by use of the user handle at FSF PopCast. You'll find us on Blue Sky, Threads, and Instagram primarily. We do have a Facebook presence, of course, and it's there.
It's there.
Technically, it's supposed to like multi-post, but it doesn't always multi-post to where it's supposed to multi-post. So it is what it is. We kind of just run with it. But also, of course, you can find us here on YouTube. So thank you for that. Now, coming up here in the next little bit. So this weekend, the 25th and 26th, is the Trek Against Pancreatic Cancer through the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, or what I'm so used to just saying PanCan because that's how it's lovingly referred to. PanCan hosts its Purple Stride Walk this year to help fight against pancreatic cancer. So you'll see in the top right-hand corner, you'll see a QR code. You can scan that, or you can go down to the show notes down below and click on the link there to help us provide funding. Because as you can see in the image there on the screen, the only federal program dedicated exclusively to pancreatic cancer research receives $0 in funding from the federal government this year, which is a crime, a shame, a massive disappointment. How this is going to affect so many people's lives negatively. But we have an opportunity to help reverse that, to help fix that. So click the QR code up in the top right-hand corner. Click the link down in the show notes down below. Anything you give is a massive win, whether it's $5, $10, $50, $100, whatever you can donate. Amazing. If you cannot donate, please consider sharing either the QR code or the link down in the show notes with your friends and family and coworkers and anybody you see, you meet. It's that important. And there's only a few days left on this funding drive, and we really want to get to 100% funded what they're trying to accomplish this year. So, please consider donating. And if you're not able to donate, we wholeheartely respect that and appreciate that. But a share is free, and a share can be put in front of somebody who maybe can donate, and you can have a help in that. So, all right, that message is going to keep circulating down at the bottom. You'll see the QR code all throughout the show tonight. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments over to the side there, and we'll get it up on the screen. All right, John, you ready to talk some nerdy stuff?
I'm always happy to talk about some nerdy stuff.
All right, let's talk about some nerdy stuff. So I'm very excited because this upcoming Friday, not only is it the start of the Purple Stride weekend for PanCan, but it's also the 20th anniversary of the Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars Episode 3.
Yep. I
have my tickets. I'm ready to go see some younglings get waxed again. Any thoughts?
I mean, yeah, first of all, I feel old because
I took my Advil.
Yeah, me too. Before I came in here, it's had to have something to eat first because otherwise the ibuprofen hits my stomach just a little too hard. But from what I'm told, and I still need to try this, using the stair stepper while listening to the music that plays when the 501st is walking into the Jedi Temple.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be supposed to be really motivating.
Supposedly,
I want
to go to a gym, not because I want to work out, but I want to go to a gym and get on a stair stepper and try that. But I want to have my lightsaber in my hand set to red and swing it as I'm walking. See if that helps.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. That's how we motivate the kid to do school. Show her Anakin's way to handle children.
So I am coincidentally, Honor has been helping me with Star Wars Lego, the Skywalker saga. Mostly it's I unlock the levels and then she gets to join me for free play later. But I happen to be at that stage of episode 3 if she needs to see something for encouragement.
Helping.
I mean, it's obviously going to gloss over it a lot and stuff, but
yeah. That's. I mean, it's Legos. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be fun for kids, and not exactly set them up for the immediacy of trauma.
Yeah. Although the ease of actual Lego figures is so easy to take their hands off. That's really handy for Star Wars. Handy. That's really convenient for Star Wars because how many people lose their hands?
Handy. I see what you did there.
Yeah. It wasn't intentional.
And her playing free play is just her going around smashing stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So then she collects all the stud coin things so that I can unlock power-ups. Get through the next level.
She really is helping then.
She is more than she understands.
Right. Well, yeah, because she's doing all the smashy. You just do the grab and walk away. It's a perfect partnership. Yeah.
I get to plow through the story mode and she gets to have a lot of fun.
Perfect partnership.
I know.
All right. So I'm actually looking forward to this. We're meeting some friends over in the Mount Pleasant area here in Michigan Friday night. And we're going to go out to dinner with them and then go to the movie. And so it should be a rip-roaring good time. I'm looking forward to it. So if you haven't got your tickets already, it is not being played at every cinema, at every theater. It is by limited engagement. So you will need to do a Google search to see which theaters in your area are playing it. If you never got to see Revenge of the Sith live in the theater, but you're a Star Wars fan, now is a really good time to be able to go. And that also makes me want to take more Advil because we're thinking about how young you are that you never got to see that in the theater. So, hey, Janice, how you doing? Oh, look at us looking so very handsome today.
I try.
So, there's a standalone Auntie Anne's and Cinnabon store in Mount Pleasant now.
Ooh. And Tim gains 5 pounds this weekend.
Just hearing about the announcement of those two things, me and a Cinnabon. So anyway, I mean, so
I'm glad that
somebody gave me a Han Solo gun. It's not my fault. Montana Jordan is cute as well. Yeah, he's a pretty dapper looking fella, isn't he? He's a pretty handsome dude. All right. So that's this weekend. If you haven't, like I said, haven't got your tickets yet, check it out and see what cinemas near you. Do a quick Google search, and you can get your tickets as well. Last I knew, at least around us in the Michigan area, tickets were selling out rather quickly as soon as they went up. So we were pretty happy to get ours. But I think it's only in there for the weekend. I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then it's gone. So. See, Tim is a perfect example why we don't arm the children.
I mean,
just saying.
No, he's the perfect example of why we train them to be armed responsibly. Otherwise,
why you train them to keep their their bang switch off the booger hook. Their booger hook off the bang switch. That's what it is. There it is. The booger hook off the bang switch.
I have not heard that in a very long time.
You got a new haircut. Wow. Well, look at him go. All right. After that, though, so this past week was Star Wars Celebration. It was held over in Japan for 2025. I got to live vicariously, very, very jealously and vicariously through a couple of the other fellows who write over at Couch Soup, and they were kind of giving us some tidbits and some information. They were there in person, and some other creators that I follow were also there at Star Wars Celebration. They were giving a lot of really neat tidbits about things that are happening. However, out of all the things that took place this past weekend, there's a couple things that I'm most, I guess you could say, curious about, interested in, and so these are the ones that I wanted to talk about. And I know that John has one other, but I didn't get to slide in for it, but we'll talk about it anywho. So first up is this. Star Wars Visions has been immensely popular over the last couple of years with 2 seasons. Season 3 of Star Wars Visions was just announced, and a new spinoff called The Ninth Jedi, all anime style. So,
that looks cool. I mean, I
yeah.
never finished the second season, but you know, I'll give it a shot.
I haven't. I'll be honest with you. I did not finish the second season either. But this screenshot is taken from season 1, episode 1, called The Duel, which I just thought was absolutely amazing. I've actually watched that episode several times. It's all black and white with very little coloring, basically just the red of the sabers. And yeah, I've been very, very interested in that series. So I was kind of hoping, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I got to go back and look at the Duel to see if that has something to do with the Ninth Jedi. If he's the Ninth Jedi, I don't remember. But anyway, but yeah. So I'm assuming something's tied into it because that was the picture that one of the announcements used going forward with it. But those are a couple of things that we can look forward to. So if you're a fan of anime and Star Wars, you're going to get some more with Visions Season 3 and the Ninth Jedi spinoff. After that, these are a couple of things we'll probably talk a little bit more about. The first one is Star Wars Starfighter, directed by Sean Levy and going to be headed up in the acting by Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. So this is one that I'm excited and apprehensive about at the same time.
Bingo.
Because I know the director does good work. I've seen other films of his, and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, Sean Levy's great.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever seen a Ryan Gosling movie where he was like the lead. What? Wait, was he in Barbie?
He was Barbie. He was Ken in Barbie.
Okay, so I've seen one Ryan Gosling movie in its entirety.
That is dad speak right there, by the way. That is total dad speak. I've seen one.
That was for Kathleen.
But that wasn't even for Honora? That's awesome.
No, Kathleen wanted to watch it. I'm like, okay, cool. You know. But it's set after Rise of Skywalker.
Correct. It's supposed to not include any of the same characters, all completely standalone.
Yeah.
Introduction of new places, new faces, new spaces.
And that's what's got me excited.
Because I am excited about that bit because it's non-Skywalker dependent.
It's a big galaxy. Let's stop talking about the same 12 people.
Exactly. So I am excited about that portion of it.
Yeah.
I have to say that I am challenged for excitement when it comes to Ryan Gosling. I think he's a fine actor. Don't get me wrong. He's nowhere near the Tom Cruise category. I will, and by that I mean where I don't care what he does. I'm not watching it.
Okay.
He's not Ryan Gosling at this point of his career is not a draw for me. I understand that there are those that he will appeal to, both men and women alike, and there are those who really enjoy his acting. I haven't found the one thing for him where I go, yep, I really like what he did in this movie, and maybe that will change with Star Wars. I don't know.
And, this could be that thing where you haven't enjoyed him in any other movie. Like with me and Jim Carrey, I did not like him in anything until The Truman Show.
Fair.
So this could be the change in his movie choice, I guess, his role selection, where suddenly it clicks for some people and you and I start liking him as an actor. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm going in with an open mind, though.
Okay.
Provided that it actually gets the screen.
So one of the reasons why I am kind of excited about this is because it's being led by Sean Levy. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with who Sean Levy is, he was the director on Deadpool and Wolverine. He was the director on Free Guy, Night at the Museum, Real Steel, The Internship, The Adam Project, one of the Night at the Museum sequel movies, Cheaper by the Dozen, and a whole list of others as well. So he has a very good track record of making good movies, and he has a good mix of comedy and seriousness in his movies. Even the Adam Project, which was a Netflix direct release, which was supposed to be a more serious sci-fi leaning movie, and also had Ryan Reynolds in it, was chock full of comedy in the right places. It wasn't overdone, overused, but I thought it was in the spots where it needed to have comedy to kind of lighten the mood, add a little levity. Levity. See what I did there? We'll try not to do that again, but
it'll happen
anyway. But Han Solo blaster. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm that alone makes me very excited about it, because I think that we have the possibility of having a pretty good movie, and maybe, depending, like I saw his version of the Fall Guy.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Sean Levy. I'm talking about Ryan Gosling. Excuse me. I wasn't clear on that. I saw Ryan Gosling's version of the Fall Guy. I just thought it was kind of meh. It was there.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's from growing up having watched the Fall Guy on TV and being so used to Lee Majors being in that role, or but I don't know. I haven't found the thing yet with him that makes me go, yep, this is the one. But like you said, maybe this could be it.
Yeah.
Janice says my eyes were on Montana Jordan. I was like, he is so very cute and handsome. Because she watched Young Sheldon with her dad. There you go.
Yep.
Okay. There it is.
Yep.
But I put the wrong haircut. I put the wrong message up on first. So
but with Sean Levy directing, I mean, there's always the chance that Ryan Reynolds will just show up in a cameo.
I'm actually curious about that, because how many movies he's done as of late, and then either Ryan Reynolds just shows up or has a major role in the movie.
I mean, he could just voice act a character and not even put on.
It would be kind of interesting to see, a Ryan Reynolds character in Star Wars. But I would love to see him do like what Alan Tudyk has done and voice a droid, a sarcastic droid of some, like a K2SO, but more of a modern K2SO.
Yeah. Could be fun.
That'd be a lot of fun. So, cool, Janice. She says her dad is going to order her a cameo for Montana Jordan. Excellent. Those are always fun, and usually those go to really good. A lot of people who do cameos are not doing it just for money. They're doing it so they can help donate to other things. Like, I don't know if he's donating to the LA wildfires, or if he was interested enough, Montana Jordan could scan the QR code in the top right-hand corner of our screen.
Hint, hint,
and
wink,
hint,
nudge,
hint,
nudge.
wink, wink, nudge, and donate to pancreatic cancer fight, or click the link down in the show notes down below. But you seriously, guys, that's a huge deal. Please consider donating to PanCan. All right. Any other thoughts on the gloriousness of the Starfighter new Star Wars movie?
Based on what we know, that's really all I've got.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same spot. We all we know is that it's after Rise of Skywalker. It's a separate storyline. It's new faces, new places, new spaces, and that I am totally here for, because we need more of that in the Star Wars universe. We need to see new heroes, new villains, new opportunities. Cool. And her cameo is for charity. That's fantastic. Nice. All right. All right. So one of the other topics I'm most interested in about, and if we're being honest, I'm most interested in, is the new Star Wars Shadow Lord for Maul, the Maul Shadow Lord animated series. Sam Witwer's back as Darth Maul, and it's going to be an animated series. And I think I've been wanting at the end of the Solo movie, there's a perfect setup there for something to happen in the story of Darth Maul, jumping forward with him working with the crime syndicates and everything that's happening between him and Kira. And I've been wanting to see Kira and Maul work together, or whatever was going to happen there, and with the crime syndicates and everything else. I'm thinking we're going to have that opportunity here. I don't know if we're going to see Kira on screen. Of course, it's animated; it's not live action, and so
it won't actually be Emilia Clarke if we actually get to that part of the story. I'm sad.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be a sound-alike actress. Although Emilia Clarke does some other things too, so maybe she'd be happy to do some voice acting for this.
Right. But from what I understand, the story actually starts about a year after the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So this is like alongside Bad Batch.
I believe so. I can't believe I'm almost 50 either, Janice. So, but my knees believe that I'm almost 50. Trust me, they remind me almost every day. So is my low back today.
Oh,
therefore, bourbon.
You know, you're not supposed to combine that with ibuprofen.
I haven't taken my ibuprofen since this afternoon, so I'll be okay.
Oh, okay, you're good.
It has cleared the system, sir.
So Maul is weird because he was that character who was dead, and we all just kind of forgot about him until Clone Wars brought him back. And since then, he is the most interesting character.
Technically, in a lot of Star Wars. Dead. He was just half off.
We never actually saw the body. We just saw the two halves of the body falling down. Yeah. Anyway.
No body, no death.
That's how it works. But yeah, so he's actually one of the most interesting characters in Star Wars, I think.
Oh, very much so.
I mean, and in this era, he's one of the few remaining classically trained Force users. You know, you got Sidious. I mean, Vader, Anakin, technically really isn't that classically trained because he was too old and then kind of fell into Sith training a decade and a half later.
Yeah, he's kind of an interesting mix.
Yeah. And then you've got Yoda and Kenobi, but they're off hiding because that's what Jedi do when they get their butts kicked.
They got scaled.
Looking at you, Luke. He was just doing what his master showed him to do.
Truth. Painful,
and so
it's truth.
And so Maul's like one of the last really has a traditional understanding of the Force. So when Inquisitors start coming after him, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens between him and the Inquisitors, because now we've seen a little bit of that in Star Wars Rebels when he was trying to entice Ezra to come to the dark side, and he clearly easily held his own against the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
The Inquisitors were never really fully trained. They had Force ability, most of them, but none of them had really ever completed their training, and that's kind of the way Anakin wanted to keep things. And if you got too powerful, he killed you.
Yeah.
So, as Vader. He was Vader at this point, but
yeah. And at the end of Solo, Maul has an Inquisitor's saber.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they don't exactly give those as like.
Those aren't party gifts.
No. I mean, somebody departed for somewhere.
Let's see. Janet says, "What is MySpace?" That was the forerunner of all social media, really out there, and it was one of the first ones, and still, in my opinion, one of the best ones.
I mean, it was preceded in death by Friendster and Grokster, but MySpace was social media before Facebook.
Agreed. Yeah,
where you could customize your page, you could have your own background and play your favorite song when people loaded it. It was actually kind of cool.
Now, Janice, I don't know how old you think I am, but I'm not old enough to have had platform shoes and a perm in the 70s.
In the 80s, yes.
But in the 80s. I had neither. Let's just be clear. I had neither a perm or platform shoes at any point. But yeah, so I'm very excited about this. I'm a huge Darth Maul fan, and whatever we can do to get Sam Witwer back behind a mic voicing Maul is a good day, in my opinion. And I am super duper ridiculously tremendously excited about this. This is supposed to be coming to us in 2026, and that is too far away.
Yep. And from what I understand, he has an apprentice type character.
Yes.
Based on the old Darth Talon designs.
So I'm curious if it's a true apprentice or if it's Kira and they just haven't announced it yet. Kira working by his side and she's his apprentice.
We will find out.
I'm hoping that she is his apprentice, but B, she is not Force sensitive. That's what I'm hoping for. Not everybody that reaches apprentice level, especially for the bad guy things, needs to be Force sensitive.
Right.
So, see, Shanna says, "Do you guys remember the Brady Bunch?" Yes, because it was on replays all up into the 1990s when I was a teenager. It was
and then there was the movie.
Television. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, there was the movie as well. which kind of made fun of the Brady Bunch a little bit, but it was still there.
It was good.
My dad and my mom are boomers, and my aunts and uncles are also boomers. I am Gen X, so yeah, I am not in boomer land. No matter what Kathleen says, and I know you're thinking about typing something, Kathleen. But anyway,
yeah, use technology like a boomer. Anyway,
it's nice having John with us tonight. He had to go home early. Jerk.
I miss having the buttons.
I took you off screen and I was like, he's gonna put himself back on. Oh no, he can't. So I better do that.
Yeah, that's okay.
But anyway, I am very, very excited about Maul, our Shadow Lord, and I think that this has a tremendous opportunity. I'm hoping. What I'm most nervous about is that they're only going to do 1 or 2 seasons, and then they're going to call it a day. I'm hoping this is a 4, 5, 6, 7 season thing.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of story between here and here with Maul, between where we see him at the end of the Clone Wars and where we see him where he dies with Rebels. There's a lot of stories that can be told in that time because he ruled the crime as a crime lord for the syndicates for quite some time.
Yeah,
and I think that's more than two seasons rather. So, but yeah. So I'm a little excited about that, and I'm hoping that we have potential to see more of that. What was the other thing for Star Wars Celebration that you
the Zero Company game?
Right.
Yeah, new game coming. I'm also a story expansion for Outlaws. Zero Company being like a squad tactical combat game. Looks pretty cool. Set during the Clone Wars, you get to command your squad to achieve objectives, outside of the normal field of battle.
Is that the move by move RPG game that I saw, the tactic and RPG game?
Yes, that one.
Okay. All right. So that one I actually am a little bit excited about just because it has more of a storytelling feature, I think, set into it. It's not just go in and blow stuff up, which is also fun.
Yeah, I like just blowing stuff up in video games. Just in video games. Just saying.
I mean, because Han Solo gun. Okay. Anyway, I gotta put that down.
We're gonna give me a
toy. It's not. Anyway, somebody gave me a toy. It's not my fault. All right. It's John's fault. So I'm actually pretty excited about those. And again, anytime that we can get more Star Wars, we get, especially now with the way that they're integrating Star Wars video games into the lore, and they're integrating those into canon.
Yeah,
it makes it more interesting to pay attention because now, like from the Jedi games, Star Wars Survivors, those are Cal Kestis is now canon.
Yeah,
and so we have opportunity to see maybe some parts of him. Yeah. Oh well, thank you, Janice. Glad to have you with us here. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. But I'm also I want to switch gears here a little bit because we've been talking about Star Wars, but another Disney-owned company, and that of course is Marvel. Now, there's been some announcements over the last week or so about the Fantastic Four.
Yes,
we've seen trailers for the Fantastic Four, and the most recent one has caused a wee bit of a ruckus for the fans, and I use the term fans loosely, very, very loosely, because everybody has got their underoos in a bunch over this image right here of the female Silver Surfer Shalla-Bal.
Yes,
John, why is this a problem to have this be a problem?
It's not a problem. She's the Silver Surfer in a different universe from the one that we're used to in the comics. She was Norrin Radd's wife in just about every reality, but in the one we're used to, he became the Silver Surfer. In a different reality, she did. And since this is a different timeline from the regular MCU, it just makes sense that, hey, let's use an alternate reality character.
So it's not. You're telling me that this is not a woke agenda gender swap?
No, this is left over from the 1960s. This is one of the oldest alternate versions of the character.
Well, I'll be dipped.
I know, right? It's almost
Huh.
like there's a 50 or 60 years worth of stories to pull from, and there's all this cool stuff that people might have forgotten about.
You mean this was in comic books and people just skipped over it?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, that tracks.
Kind of like the concept of a She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall and having a personality.
Yeah, well, that's not supposed to happen because, Hulk was the only Hulk, and this, they gender swapped it and, made it lame. No. Okay, that was actually hurting my brain to do that. Just, okay,
yeah,
here we go.
I was a little concerned for you, man.
oh, that hurt.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's a really cool take on the character. I'm looking to see how they do with it. Because
here's just a couple examples from the comics, kids, of different versions of Shalla-Bal. Earth 9997, Earth 829 as Juno. There's been more than one female Silver Surfer. So to say that it's not canon or to complicate it any much farther than that means that your reading comprehension and your understanding of lore and canon needs to be enhanced.
And just to get ahead of it, okay, Galactus has more than one herald. There are multiple heralds at different times even. Yeah. So, I mean, just because it's not the Silver Surfer doesn't mean it's not a herald.
Oh, I'm shocked and appalled at this revelation. So you mean in another universe where Shalla-Bal was not a Silver Surfer, but the was it the Golden Torch, I think she was called, because she got a little bit of Johnny Storm's power, but was then a Galactic Herald? That was okay too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just checking. I was hoping so. It made sense to me because that's right. I did some research and I read it. So
and here's the thing. The movies are not the same as the comics, so they don't have to stick exactly to them. They can do new stuff if they want to.
Kathleen says, I'm surprised the nerds are upset about Silver Surfer being a woman and not just being giggly about there being boobs. I'm not going to lie. I misread giggly at first. You can imagine what word I may have put in place of giggly.
Jiggly?
I said you could imagine. I didn't say you had to voice it. But
that's always going to surprise me too. It's like, okay, guys, wouldn't you want there to be more women on screen if that's what you're into? I mean, be into what you want to be into. The
MCU does not always need to be a sausage fest. There can be really cool, super cool women doing awesome things, and it takes nothing away from the men. The fact that we have a Silver Surfer who's a female in this version of the Fantastic Four, which, by the way, I really don't think this is going to be the end result Fantastic Four. I think this is an alternate universe. This is an alternate timeline, and we will see a different version of the Fantastic Four later. That's just my take on things. I think that will be the finalized version.
It is the last movie before Doomsday. So, I mean,
I think we'll see him, and I think we'll see them in Doomsday, but I don't think we'll see them past that.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, from the actor list that was released, they'll show up there, but from which reality,
right? Oh, and that's the thing. I mean, we've got two versions of Captain Fantastic now, which show us that we are dealing with a multiverse. So we'll have opportunity, I think, to possibly see either that one of them is going to continue being Mr. Fantastic, or we'll get a third one at some point.
So there have actually been four versions of the Fantastic Four, including this one. And rumor has it, the first one from 2005 is supposed to show up in the movie.
Say what now?
Yeah. The Jessica Alba, Chris.
Yeah. I cannot pronounce that guy's name.
Yeah. That one, they're supposed to show up at some point in the movie. If their reality gets destroyed, if they're in the post credits, whatever it is, Scarlet Witch spaghettifies them too. I don't know, but
woohoo! Hey, Jason.
Janice
says, Jason says, Janice, did you lose your mind when you took off his shirt? on George and Mandy? Oh my God, yes. Did you get your hair cut, John?
Yes, Kathleen actually cuts my hair because I'm cheap, and she's actually really good at it. So,
well, there you go. And getting back to previous statement, Mr. Fantastic needs a helmet. We'll get to that in just a minute.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Fantastic, aka Tim, Mr. Wonderful, aka John. We're good with those. We could change our names to those things. That would be fine.
We'll see.
But yeah, so guys, don't get all Twitter pated about the fact that there's a woman in a spot where you thought only a man should be. Norrin Rad was not the only Silver Surfer. Norrin Rad was not the only Galactic Herald for Galactus. There's a whole lot going on there, and if you're ever confused, please look up. Please look it up. Do a little bit of research before commenting online, and really, well, showing your behind, if you know what I mean. Yep. But yeah. Let's see. All right. Well, next on the docket, on the Rocket docket for conversation tonight, is this man. Now, this is a little bit of a spoiler for those of you who are watching The Last of Us and haven't watched the last night's episode. And Kathleen, I was expecting Kathleen to be here so that she could explain this a little bit better, but she's not here tonight. John is in her place, and
never trust anybody with a golf club.
Kathleen is off camera yelling into it. Awesome, fantastic. Yep. Hello, Jason. Yeah, he is a pretty good looking dude. We call him Space Daddy for a reason.
It's just like a watermelon, though.
Which reminds me, we should talk about Daredevil at some point.
I have 30 minutes left in the last episode. That's as I've been power watching. I have the last 30 minutes to go. And that's why I was almost late for the start tonight, because all of a sudden I was looking at the clock going, oh crap, we have a live show. I got to go. But yeah. So let's talk about this for The Last of Us. Now, John, I'm assuming you watched it along with Kathleen.
No.
Oh,
no.
Great. We have two guys providing a review on something that we have not watched. So we're not going to review it.
There are some shows we don't watch together, some we do watch together, and some, neither one of us watch.
I assumed this was one of the ones that y'all watched together. So
no, because of stuff that happened in season 1 that I knew about from the video game, I as a dad was not up to handling that.
Okay.
So, I mean, just my personal mental and emotional health could not handle it. So,
fair enough.
Nothing against anyone, no judgment against anyone who does watch it, enjoys it. That's them. It's just me personally.
Hello, Crusher Convo. So, what is wrong with y'all? Nothing's wrong with me. Actually, I need to start watching it. I was going to, and I just haven't gotten that far.
I have multiple diagnoses.
And then there's the stuff that my therapist tells me about. So, you guys, she watching it with Kathleen. Jason, did you watch last night's episode? We'll wait ever patiently in the comments for his response. Oh, Jesse, I'm sorry.
I hope you feel better.
I hope you feel better. That sucks. Yeah. Boo to not feeling good. All right, you did watch last night's episode. So Kathleen is telling me all about how Pedro is becoming the new Sean Bean. How do you feel about that?
Well, while we wait for Jason to type in a reply, I'm moderately amused because, I mean, this is a good-looking dude who is a good actor, but in some of the biggest franchises on HBO, bad things have happened to him.
Yes.
Whether it's his skull, if it involves a golf club, I don't know. But
Jason said it's one episode of one show. LOL. He could die technically he died in Wonder Woman 84, didn't he? At the end?
I'm not sure.
He was also on Game of Thrones. Yeah, that didn't end very well for him. So here's my take on this. It doesn't bother me that he died. Characters die. That is what it is. What I am concerned about is that I'm almost getting to a point where I'm getting an overload of Pedro. Like everywhere I look, I see Pedro, which isn't, I mean, all things being fair, he is a great actor. He seems to really understand his roles, his characters, everything else that he's doing. But there's just so much of him. It's like he's in Star Wars, he's in Fantastic Four, he's in The Last of Us, he's in Wonder Woman, he's in oh, hold on, here it goes. I'm not into dudes, but yeah, he's a good looking dude. I have no problem saying he's a sexy man. He is let's see. The late great William Smith, and a little like the great Tommy Gunn. I have no idea who those people are. I'll have to look them up. But yeah.
Okay.
He is the pot. Yeah, he better milk it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he's even been in a movie with Nicolas Cage. So I mean,
right.
Nicolas Cage made how many movies at the same time?
Well, yeah, Nicolas Cage the entire time has always been like, and look what I can do, and look what I can do. One thing that I'm hoping that if we're going to have this much Pedro on screen, I want this. This is what I want. I want him to be. I want him to be the next Burt Reynolds. I want him to redo Smokey and the Bandit because, there's enough closeness there where I think he could pull it off pretty well. And if we're going to go this far and we're going to have Pedro everywhere, then I say, by golly, by gosh, let's go full Pedro.
I mean, honestly, after the Mandalorian movie, he might be able to retire and just live off royalties from Disney and HBO.
I mean, I would think he's pretty much right there to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the Mandalorian role. He's, that's mostly voice acting. Every once in a while he takes the helmet off. But yeah. I have read that some people want him to be the most interesting man in the world. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Yes. Okay. I will buy whatever he's selling at that point.
I'll totally sign off on that. I'm okay with that. Yes, let's let's see. In the comments, there's still talking about Montana Jordan taking his shirt off because apparently he's just so cute. Again, there's another dude, pretty good looking dude, and kudos to him for being better looking. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with Pedro. I like the fact that he is such a good actor, and I feel like when he gets into whatever project he's working on, he really does give it his all.
He's a solid actor.
Yeah, he's too young for me to say that. I think he's. I hope he's not that young. That just got real weird real quick. But yeah, solid actor, gives his all in every performance. I would just like to see him in less major franchises, I guess, where he's becoming the face of that thing. He's the face of the Mandalorian. He is, right as of this moment, depending on what happens with First Steps and the Doomsday Avengers movie, he's the face of the Fantastic Four. He's the kind of the face of Last of Us at this moment. So I don't know. I want to see good roles for him. I want to see things where, and he's picking good roles. I'm not saying any of these are bad roles. So, Granzier says the thing with Burt Reynolds, he was popular going back to his Gunsmoke days. He was a regular in around the start to medium part with a whole series. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be interesting to see what they could do with that. I would totally be down with. The only problem with redoing Smokey and the Bandit is that it's not going to be Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah,
that movie was politically incorrect for its time, or for at least for this time.
Movies from the mid-'70s don't exactly translate well to 2025.
No, trying to remake them and some of the things that were said and some of the jokes that were made will not go over in 2025, which is unfortunate, but that's also part of the truth. That's just the way things go. Mike, I guess my question is, Granzer asks, what TV shows has Pedro been in before he is all over the place now? He was in Game of Thrones. He was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was
He did a lot of like smaller one episode bits and a lot of shows.
Yeah. I would have to look that up, to be honest with you, Granzer.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure what his whole filmography is before that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's paid his dues to get. Yeah, he's paid his dues to get where he is. I have respect
for sure. Let's see. Let's pull up his IMDb, and I will pull up his filmography, and we'll look at a couple things together here. So in his filmography, of course, there's a couple of Avengers things listed for both Doomsday, and he's listed for Secret Wars. So he's going to be there around for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gladiator 2, of course. Let's go before all these Wonder Woman and all that stuff. I did not realize that he was on The Community. That's one of my favorite shows.
Really?
Yeah, he was in one of their webisodes. He was in The Equalizer 2. He was in The Kingsman, Golden Circle, Narcos. Let's see, Blood-Sucking Bastards. He was in 7 episodes of The Mentalist.
Interesting.
Yeah, he actually has a really nice background and a lot of one-offs in different, different TV shows where, he would be the guest star of those, including some different movies and everything. So kind of cool. Yeah, he's got a lot of one episode here, one episode there, and very popular shows like NYPD Blue, Without a Trace, Law and Order, Criminal Intent, Nurse Jackie, The Good Wife, Burn Notice, Law and Order SVU, Charlie's Angels, Body of Proof, CSI. I mean, like he was in a lot of different things leading up to him becoming a leading man. So he was already setting the tone with his work.
Yeah,
exactly, Granger. Yeah, exactly. He put his time in the trenches. He just didn't walk in and they were like, look, a really pretty face. Let's put him out in front of there. I mean, because he is a good looking dude. Let's see. Definitely not a Johnny Come Lately actor. He was not that type.
Yeah, he's not overhyped. He's good. He's just everywhere, right?
Yeah, I think in NYPD Blue, he was not touched by an angel. I don't know. He may have been in Touched by an Angel. But in NYPD Blue, he was in one episode of that. I'm trying to see if I can find that again real quick. Yeah, good luck finding him in there, but he was only in one episode, and I don't know how much of a role he actually played in that. Jason says this new Fantastic Four trailer really has me excited for this cast. It gave me some same vibes I got from Superman. By that I mean they're leading into the comics. I feel the same way. I'm very excited for this cast. The only two things I have, if we're gonna, complain about, I do wish that Ben Grimm was played by somebody else, and that's no offense to the actor who has the role. It's just that Joshua Schubert is a good friend of ours, and I think he's amazing as the Thing. He's wanted to be Ben Grimm for quite a while, and I would love to have seen Joshua Schubert get that role. But if I'm going to complain about anything that was in the he was definitely not in Firefly. One of the things I will complain about what appears to be the CGI of the Silver Surfer. It looks like they took her out before the oven was done.
It could just be that scene and that moment. It's a little blurry.
That's what I'm hoping for. It just, something about this is a little off. Now, there's been a lot of complaints online about the level of CGI given to Shalla-Bal in this scene. And yeah, exactly, Jason. There's still time to fix that, though, to make it right. Yeah. And I'm hoping that's what will happen, because I think that there's potential here for Shalla-Bal to be a great character, even if it is, I think, just for this one-off episode. I think her character will go away by the end of this, and I think we will see Norrin Radd at some point, clearly. But I'm not crazy about the CGI on her, and I would like Ben Grimm's voice to be a little gruffer, a little a little more distinct than what we're hearing in the trailer. He's just it's a normal voice, which there's nothing wrong with that. But when I think of the Thing, I always think of a deeper, gruffer, more growly voice than what I'm getting out of the trailer. And again, nothing wrong with it. It's just something I'll have to wrap my head around, which is really not that big of a deal.
Something a little more gravelly, if you will.
I see what you did there. Grand Zero asks, can Pedro walk in and wear a shirt as cool as John can? Like the shirt he has on now. Like a boss. Look at you. Bossing it up.
Well, thank
you. The CGI cheap AI, it could be. I mean, we've had I doubt it. I want to say that I doubt it. But we've also had over the past few years where Disney has released one thing in CGI and then somebody has come up behind them and cleaned it up and made it a million times better from a fan's perspective. I mean, that's how one dude got hired by Disney to help do some of this stuff.
And they did
John Magnum PI.
Yes, I could do it. And Disney did intentionally use AI for the Secret Invasion titles. That was an artistic choice they made that I still don't agree with. But
there's a lot about a Secret Invasion I don't agree with, but that's another story.
Yeah, that seems like we have a series of videos about that.
We might. Oh, you know what? We do. We totally have a series of videos decrying the issues that were laid out in Secret Invasion.
And you could just
especially because we were so hyped to begin with. You could watch our joy go down every week.
It was like the stock market.
It's almost like tariffs were levied against our happiness.
Snap.
Okay, so that's probably as political as you'll ever see us get, folks. But yeah,
just observations.
Just observation, exactly. So yeah, I have no idea where I was going with that. I don't know either. That got me completely off kilter. Oh yeah, I don't believe it's AI. I believe it's just it feels like a not fully rendered CGI on Shalla-Bal, the female surfer, and I think which is a shame because especially in a climate that we live in where and I use the term loosely, fans are scared of strong female characters. I think we need to be putting our best foot forward to try and win them over. And a not completely done CGI is not going to do the trick. I just feel like it's just, I don't know. It's weird. Especially because now all of a sudden people now are looking back to the Silver Surfer movie done in 2007. They're like, why can't it be this good? I'm like, really? You all hated that movie when it came out. Don't even pretend like you didn't, because you
just have nostalgia glasses on now. The lenses are kind of thick.
Exactly.
It's like watching the prequels or the original trilogy, when you were a kid and watch it now. The nostalgia blurs things.
Oh, for sure. It absolutely does. Granzier asked, question, is this Fantastic Four movie better casted than the one in the mid-2000s? I say yes. Okay.
I'm gonna have to wait and see.
I'm not a Jessica Alba fan. I think she's very pretty. Don't get me wrong. And it does not offend me to have her on screen, but I did not think she was a very good Sue Storm. However, Chris Evans, I thought, was a very good Johnny Storm.
Okay.
And the guy, Michael Chiklis, voiced it was the Thing and voiced the Thing, and he had a more believable accent, not only for the New York accent that he was using, but also his voice was a little more gravelly, some would say. And but the CGI for the Thing this time around looks more like the comic book. Yes. So I think the movies are better casted, but I think that the CGI up until the point you get to Silver Surfer is better. Jason Taylor would agree that yes, he believes that it is done as well. He said why? Hopefully I explained that for you a little bit. Jason says it's hard to say for sure, having not seen it yet, but by the trailer, chemistry seems to be stronger in it. Yeah, I think that the especially the character, the chemistry between the main two, Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic in this version seems to be more like, hey, we're a couple, and a little more believable than Jessica Alba and the other dude whose name I can never pronounce. a very popular British actor, and he's very good. And I actually didn't think he was too bad of a Reed Richards, but yeah.
But maybe we'll finally get a good Doom.
I hope so. We had potential in the first movie, the very first Fantastic Four movie with this the original 2000s cast. That should have been. He was just so poorly written. I was so excited.
Wrong character.
So, yeah.
RDJ in the role, but we'll see what happens.
Exactly. Jessica Alba was maybe the eye candy at the time to be in a popular movie. That's exactly what happened. She was. And she's still a very pretty, very good looking actress. That's his name right there. There it is. Eon Rudolph, something like that. I can't remember it's a weird pronunciation, but Ione, I don't know. But yeah, I'm thinking that we're gonna, and I've heard something about seeing him come back. Actually, John mentioned that just a few minutes ago, that there was potential to have him back, or that he probably would be back.
There's a rumor, at least.
Yeah, it's running around. It's making its turns. So I think that's a distinct possibility that we will see him. He's a very good actor. Yeah.
That series.
I have no problem with him as like I said, I thought he did a really good job as Reed Richards, but having him cast opposite of Jessica Alba seemed like there was never good chemistry between them on the screen, in my opinion. They just, like, Reed Richards was over here and Jessica Alba's, character, her Sue Storm, was over here, and they're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, okay, but the show he mentions there, Forever, I'm still mad that they canceled it, because it ended on this cliffhanger where you needed to know what happened next, and they canceled it.
Yeah, there's that. Janice, we have dissension in the ranks. Janice says that Montana Jordan is way cuter than Will Wheaton. Wow. Forever was so good. Fans come out to get the show back on. Yeah. I've actually heard that from a couple different people. And he was big on the BBC, a lot of different shows over on the BBC. And my wife was watching stuff that he was in for quite some time. So I had seen him in some other things as well. So it was about time that American audiences got to see him, got used to him, got to understand who he was and everything else. And he said, Kranzer says that Forever was another reason why ABC should not have sci-fi type shows. Fox shouldn't be allowed to have them either. Firefly canceled after one season.
Okay,
Firefly canceled after one season.
We get one season of each of those, but we get 20 some odd seasons of Grey's Anatomy, which, if you work in a hospital, it's totally unrealistic. Sound in space, dragons, space wizards, I can buy all that. Grey's Anatomy makes no sense in any reality.
I love it. All right, so guys, that's been our topics for the week. Those are the things that we thought we would highlight. Agree, Fox and ABC. The difference is
by Disney now.
Sadly, they don't watch Grey's. They don't watch our shows. Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need to be in place for them. But yeah,
we should make our own show.
We should totally make our wait a minute. Wait, what are you talking about?
Well, like our own sci-fi show, like build some sets. Get some green screens going. Jason, we can talk about this later. We just have to buff everybody's head down to like some of the most poorly acted stuff is about to hit your TV, ladies and gentlemen. That's what tequila is for.
Jason says he's in. All right, we get Max. There's a joke there. I got it, but I'll say it later. We'll get Max. We'll get Justin.
I've watched South Park. I know where you're going with this.
Anyway,
I've been drinking water too. This is just me.
I have been drinking Jefferson's very small batch bourbon, and it has been delightful. So anyway, so maybe this past week, Wednesday, you saw our interview with Joe Daru. He's a really cool guy. He's been on, speaking of being on a lot of shows, somebody who's growing up in the industry, paying their dues. That would be Joe Daru. He's been in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He was in Chicago Fire, SWAT, And lately, he's been starring in the hit Peacock series Long Bright River, across from Amanda Seyfried, or however you say her last name. Anyway, I had a really great conversation with Joe, because not only is he an actor, but he is a former professional baseball player, and he talks about playing for the Thai team, from Thailand, during the Asian Games, and how much he would love to be able to make a baseball movie come up and be a thing. Granzier says, "Oh, hold on one second." Jason says, "We need ladies. All the ladies on our show tell the ladies on our show to join too. That would be helpful." I hated Grey's Anatomy for a long time. Back in 2009-ish, the USA version of Life on Mars was going good in its time slot. Grey's was doing poor against other shows at that time. Yeah, so they axed other shows. I used AI to replace Tim in this interview with me. I need to see the AI generated. No, nobody does. That seems awful.
I have a project.
That seems awful. Granted said, so ABC moved Grey's with Life on Mars to give Life for Grey's, and Life on Mars got the axe. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Janice says that thank you. That were her favorite nerds.
Thank you.
It looks like AI generated me, not Tim. Looks like Moby. Oh no.
Thank you for basing it off of you after you shaved.
Well, yeah, he did shave his beard, didn't he? So, so anyway, so our interview with Joe Daru is out everywhere where you listen to your audio podcasts. But we do recommend that you check us out on Good Pods. We're big fans of Good Pods, and they treat us really well over there. And by the way, you can, of course, subscribe, follow, if you will, here on YouTube, and that will give you guys a chance to be able to watch that as well. Now, if you're a Patreon member, this is going to be of interest to you, because our next interview is already out on our Patreon channel for our paying subscribers. You'll have early access to each and every week. For as little as $3 a month, you can help support our show. The Patreon link is down in the show notes down below. But if you guys subscribe to our Patreon channel, not only will you get that, but we're going to start doing some stuff over on our Patreon channel to help build that up and give us an opportunity to provide even more value to those who are paying that $3 a month. We're looking at bringing our Stargate series back, and there's a few other things as well. Granzer says, I don't recall what Grey's was up against and not doing well, but it was established shows on CBS, NBC, and Fox. So no show would do well against those shows. Exactly. But yeah, so this is Sophia Yepes. She is the star of The Low End Theory. She's been on Ray Donovan and a few other shows like that. And she is also the host of a podcast called Sana Sana Single Mama, which is actually a really cool thing. She's trying to help build community for single mothers, so that they don't feel alone and they have somewhere to turn in times of need. So it's a really cool, really cool thing. Jason says, I don't hate Grey's. It's fine, but my host on TV, loves it. Absolutely. I know a couple people who love it as well. Now, like I said, this is available on Patreon for as little as $3 a month. And of course, it'll be available this week on Wednesday here on our FSF PopCast channel, and of course over on Good Pods as well. Granzer says, if I join the Patreon, I need your cell numbers in case I want to talk sci-fi all of a sudden.
Okay, that's going to be slightly more than $3 a month, and it's just going to be this number.
I mean, we don't really have a. Wait a minute, what? It's only going to be my number? Is that what you said?
Hey, your kids are all adults.
Oh yeah, this is true. But yeah, I think that's the $50 a month Patreon that we don't have put up yet, but we can talk about that. Yes, you should become a Patreon member again. We would love that. But yeah, no surprise guest on Jason's podcast, he says. But by the way, if you guys haven't already followed Jason over at 3 Geeks Podcast, strongly suggest that you do. all of the geeks, even though there are more than 3, are good friends of ours, and we can't recommend them enough. Jason is a good friend of our show, and he's an honorary member of the FSF PopCast. So we love having Jason in the chats. We love having him on screen here with us. And please go follow the 3 Geeks podcast, the number 3, and then the words Geeks podcast. But yeah, Granzer says so. LOL. So slightly more than $3, just slightly. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so that's available now, like I said. So that's it, guys. That's all we've got for tonight. Want to thank everybody for hanging out with us and chitter-chatting with us and throwing comments into the end so that we can have a good time and talk with you, all you guys, and we certainly appreciate it. So Grandeur, Janice, Jesse from not from 3 Geeks, Jesse from Crusher Convo, that's another podcast you should be following, and of course Jason from 3 Geeks. Let's see, before the stream ends, Lions draft, give us your predictions who the Lions will take in the first round. I will be honest with you, Granzer, I have no idea. I am as confused as the next guy. I'm only going to predict position because I feel like I every year when I have tried to predict who they're going to take, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell throw me a massive curveball, and I have no clue where that came from each year. So I will say that this year I would think that I'm thinking that they're either going to draft a defensive end or a linebacker. That would be my guess. Someone to go across from Aiden Hutchinson, since they let Zadarius Smith walk, and I'm really not a fan of that idea. Would like to have kept Zadarius Smith around for a little bit, because having them 2 on the line, Hutch on one side, Smith on the other, would have really freed up the center of the line, and that defensive line would have caused some serious havoc. And do what right there. Yeah, go like Jason's podcast. The 3 Geeks podcast now has Girl Geeks. Go subscribe. Run to the 3 Geeks.
Yeah, and apparently it's 2 handsome guys on there too. I think their names are Max and Justin.
Yeah, well, every once in a while they have John from the PVD cast. So technically 3 handsome guys. So, and then there's Jason.
Yeah, love you, Jason.
But he's only less than handsome right now just because he shaved.
Yeah, that's a disqualifier.
Totally. When he grows that back, he'll be as handsome as everybody else.
He'll be right up there with Pedro.
Very dirty girl geeks. Oh, well, hello there. Oh, hello, sailor. But yeah. All right, guys. On that note, man. Oh no, you are not. No, Jason. I love you dearly, but
to somebody.
I mean, Granders, have a great week, Tim and John in chat. Be safe, happy, and blessed. Don't hug the Wookiee. But I like my Wookiee. Pew pew. And on that note, to everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. And may the force be with you as you continue to live long and prosper. Goodbye. Welcome to the FSF PopCast live show.